Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopichana Vallabha Girivaradhare Yashoda Nandana Vrajachana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vrajachana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tira Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Radha Madhava Ke Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivraja Kacharya Ashtatara Shishimadaisi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivraja Kacharya Ashtatara Shishimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Shri Prahlad Lakshmi Singhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai Vidya Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol Samavita Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Pushana Swamin Iti Namine Prabhupada Susamada Sarvatra Gaura Kripa Daya Satirisha Shakti Krishna Maharashi Kari Namaste. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadyate Shatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Before we are going to start with hearing from Bhagavad Gita, I would like to share one day of Hari Shauri Prabhu's experience with Srila Prabhupada in his diary, a transcendental diary, from the year 1976 on June 13th. Sri Sri Radha Damodar arrived in their bus this morning. Many devotees from Chicago, Ann Arbor, Toronto, St. Louis and Boston have come. Driving out for the morning walk, the city appeared dirty and unkept, with factories almost everywhere making tires, car wheels and other components for the automobile industry. Ambarisha Prabhu, a native of Detroit, accompanied Prabhupada. As we drove along, we noticed a big construction going up near the city center on a site by the waterside. One of the devotees said that the new development called the Renaissance Center is being financed by Ambarish's uncle, Henry Ford II, in hopes of reviving the decaying city. He told Srila Prabhupada that Ambarisha's uncle was making $1 billion project. Prabhupada's immediate response was, "Why not at Mayapur?" We walked around a park on Belle Isle in East Detroit, but it was quite depressing, dirty, overgrown and little used, with a dried-up lake bed and a fancy-looking building that turned out to be a casino. Across the Detroit River, we could see Canada. Trishtadyumna Swami is now in charge of the Radha Damodar party, and he briefly reported to Srila Prabhupada on their activities. The men have practically doubled their book selling and collections since their return from India. Srila Prabhupada was pleased indeed to hear the news. Satsvarup Maharaj and his traveling party also accompanied his divine grace, and as we walked, he asked a question. Sometimes devotees think that when Lord Kapila teaches, there is devotional service in ignorance and in passion and in goodness, that may mean your own disciples too. But then some devotees say, no, we are above that designation. It's not mixed devotional service, even though we are neophytes. If you voluntarily do not follow, then you fall down. That is ignorance, Srila Prabhupada replied. Maghan Lal Prabhu, the president of St. Louis Temple, joined in. So, where that is described in the 3rd canto, part 4, where it is described about devotional service in ignorance, passion and goodness and so forth, that has nothing to do with your disciples then? Who is my disciple? Prabhupada asked him. First of all, let him follow strictly the disciplined rules. As long as one is following, then he is, Maghan Lal said, tailing off to let Prabhupada complete the statement. Then he is all right, Prabhupada said. Above those lower levels? Oh yes, Prabhupada affirmed. Otherwise, why there is need of regulative principles? He is immediately liberated. If he thinks that because I have taken to, I am liberated, then why the rules and regulations? But as long as he follows the rules and regulations, Maghan Lal continued, he comes to the Brahma Buddha platform. Immediately? Question mark. Yes, Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Mam chayo vyapicharena, unalloyed, bhakti yogena sevate. Then he is liberated. If it is vyapicharena, sometimes falls down, sometimes, then it is within sattva guna, rajaguna, tamaguna. The word is mamcha yo avyapicharena bhakti yogena, pure bhakti, without any fall down. I repeat it. Maghan Lal sought a further definition. Fall down means deviation from the orders of the spiritual master. Yes, Prabhupada told us, that is vyapicharena. That is not avyapicharena. If you are subjected to the attraction of Maya, that is vyapicharena. If somebody is following the instructions, but if there is attraction for Maya, Maghan Lal asked, Prabhupada shook his head. That cannot be. Maybe in the beginning due to past habits, but that must be nil very soon. Otherwise, he is not following, just like fans switched off may move for a little, but not that it will go on moving. Must stop, switch off, and if it's going on, then the switch is not yet off. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. We're reading from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, text number 5. Please repeat after me. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashota Sahasrashaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kriti Nicha Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashota Sahasrashaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kriti Nicha Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashota Sahasrashaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kriti Nicha. Please. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashota Sahasrashaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kriti Nicha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashota Sahasrashaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kritini Cha. Ladies? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashota Sahasrashaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kritini Cha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Pashya, just see, me, my, Partha, O son of Pritha, Rupani, forms, Shatashaha, hundreds, Atha, also, Sahasrashaha, thousands, Nana Vidhani, variegated, Divyani, divine, Nana, variegated, Varna, colors, Akritini, forms, Cha, also. This is a translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied divine and multicolored forms. Purport. Arjuna wanted to see Krishna in his universal form, which although a transcendental form is just manifested for the cosmic manifestation and is therefore subject to the temporary time of this material nature. As the material nature is manifested and not manifested, similarly, this universal form of Krishna is manifested and non-manifested. It is not eternally situated in the spiritual sky like Krishna's other forms. As far as a devotee is concerned, he is not eager to see the universal form, but because Arjuna wanted to see Krishna in this way, Krishna reveals his form. This universal form is not possible to be seen by any ordinary man. Krishna must give one the power to see it. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshuramitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaya Dekirim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Putale Swayam Rupa Katamayam Dadati Svapadandikam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashota Sahasrashaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kritini Cha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied divine and multicolored forms. Hare Krishna. What a wonderful way to let the day come to an end. Hearing about Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, especially this amazing chapter 11, the universal form. So important, and this is what we want to see, as Srila Prabhupada said. That when Srila Prabhupada talked about pictures and paintings which we see on the walls, then he referred to paintings and pictures of Krishna and the gopis, and some artists who were painting in in an inadequate way, Krishna and the gopis. And then Prabhupada came exactly to what we hear here. Krishna's universal form, thousands and thousands of heads and thousands of soldiers following into the mouths and dying by the influence of time. And then Prabhupada said, this is what we want to see. The universal form, the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Almighty Lord, the most powerful Lord. This is what we want to see, the universal form. So why is it so important? Because so many rascals take Krishna as so cheap, and his relationship with his most dear, they take it very cheap and bring it on a materialistic platform. But before we can understand Krishna and his most wonderful pastimes, we have to understand he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and study Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1 until 9, until we can finally reach Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. So therefore, this is a most wonderful way how to, I would say, bring this day to an end, hearing about Krishna's universal form. And I would like to step a little bit before, because this is verse number 5, and I would like to especially repeat one sentence from purport of verse number 4. Please hear very attentively. Srila Prabhupada says about Krishna, the word Yogeshvara is also very significant there, because the Lord has inconceivable power. If he likes, he can reveal himself by his grace, although he is unlimited. Therefore, Arjuna pleads for the inconceivable grace of Krishna. He does not give Krishna orders. Krishna is not obliged to reveal himself unless one surrenders fully in Krishna consciousness and engages in devotional service. What an interesting sentence, isn't it? Krishna must not accept our offering. There is no must with Krishna. We can not make Krishna must, because he is completely independent. And here, the next word which is used in the purport is unless one surrenders fully in Krishna consciousness and engages in devotional service. Which means there is a way to conquer our Krishna and, so to say, make him must, but only with love. And there we have also this example in the pastimes of Krishna and his most dear associates, the gopis, when they were looking for Krishna, and Krishna hit him, so to say, he turned. As we hear here, that Krishna is showing Arjuna his universal form, and then he's showing Arjuna his four-armed form of Narayan, Lord Vishnu. After Arjuna was begging, please show again your wonderful human-like form, Manushya Rupa. Similarly, Krishna, he turned himself into Narayan, Vishnu, and as the gopis came by looking for him, he couldn't hold any more these forms. He had to become the two-armed flute-playing Krishna. He couldn't hide himself anymore. The love of the devotees was so great, he couldn't. So similarly, a devotee can make Krishna must reveal himself through love, through devotion. And that is our aim. There we want to come, to conquer over the Lord through bhakti. Bhakti tu ananya shakya aham evam vidorjuna jnanam jnanam trashtum cha tatvena pravishtum cha parantapa. Only through devotional service. And this form which we hear here is actually for these people who are striving for this in life, not so important. Actually, it's not so important what we hear here, because we are also striving, I hope everyone, for Venum Kvanantam Aravinda Dalaya Taksham Barhavatam Shamasidam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami. Krishna, as he plays his flute eternally, singing and dancing in bliss, ever existing and always becoming more and more bliss in his spiritual abode, Goloka Vrindavan. That is the goal which we are striving for, and the great gift which is given to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nothing lower than this. And the real gift is that it is available for everybody. Everyone shall come, is invited to come here, and please sit down here and hear. Because just by hearing you can make advancement. Just sit here and hear about Krishna. And gradually by hearing and hearing you become free from material contaminations. And these material contaminations is what is also referred here to this universal form, because this universal form is also like the material forms temporary, it is described here. But still a devotee like Arjuna needs eyes to see it. It's not possible for everyone to see this form, and Krishna gave him. Only because Krishna could give him. And simultaneously, as Krishna is the unlimited person, he can only be perceived and recognized by his mercy, by his grace. And we want to attain Krishna's mercy and Krishna's grace. And how? We heard by the words of Srila Prabhupada, by following the orders of the spiritual master, by following the process of Krishna consciousness. Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chanting 16 rounds every day, following 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no fish eating, no eggs, no intoxication, no smoking, no cigarettes, no tea, no alcohol anymore, no gambling, no lotto playing, no business in the casino. As we heard, that they build a casino. Casino is unimportant for devotees. And so much gambling also going on nowadays in the internet. Be very careful if you are a lot in the internet. So much ways how to get entangled in gambling. And of course, illicit sex. So this must be there. The basic for taking up to spiritual life, Krishna consciousness. And then gradually Krishna, by his grace, may reveal himself, his unlimited spiritual forms, as they are mentioned here, because all these forms Arjuna was able to see just at one place. Just imagine Krishna and Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Arjuna's best friend Krishna just by the way showed him the whole universe, and Arjuna could see the whole universe and everything in this universe at this one place where he was standing, because Krishna gave him the eyes. Never before, never ever before, such a form of Krishna anyone has seen. Never. Arjuna, this was the first time anybody could see this universal, amazing universal form of Krishna. He was not the only one, as we understand. Also others were able to perceive this universal form, and similarly we are advised to take this very serious, because anyone who claims to be Krishna, anyone claims to be God, having forgotten to be God, and is now on the path to realize again that he is God someday, he should kindly show exactly this universal form that also was shown to Arjuna. And then we could accept that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this way, we can challenge everybody, everyone there outside. We can challenge through reading Prabhupada's books. And this is also what Prabhupada said. Let everyone come. Everyone shall come here. And that challenge everyone. All the scientists, all the philosophers, so-called scientists, so-called philosophers, everyone should come. And we shall prove that they are cheaters. We shall prove that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and if you are not Krishna consciousness, you can, as we today in the morning commented in the Srimad Bhagavatam lecture, anyone who is not Krishna consciousness cannot have good qualities. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvai gunai tatra samasate suraha harov apaktyasa kuto mahat gunaha manoratena sati dhavato pahihi. Dhavato means running. Like in Kartik, you are from India, you know Kartik. the month of Kartik, of course, very famous. October, November. And there we sing, Yashoda Piyo Lukalat Tavamanam Param Rishtamatyanta Todrutya Gopya. What is Krishna doing? He is running away from Mother Yashoda. Davamanam, running away from Mother Yashoda. So Davamanam is running, and similar in this verse, one who is not a devotee, first of all, Harov apaktas, because he is not a devotee, he cannot have good quality, he cannot have good qualities. And what is the second characteristic? Manoratena sati tavatopahi. He's just running behind his mano, his mind. He is running behind his mind, doing what his mind is telling him, eating this, smelling this, having sex with this person, and so on. And therefore he has no good qualities. But the devotee, he is self-controlled. He is Atashi Krishna Namadi Napavet Kram Indriai Sevan Mukhi Jivato Swayam Evas Purati Ataha. He is self-controlled because he engages his senses in the service of Krishna. And by his intelligence he understood this is his real self-interest. Our self-interest is to be engaged completely in Krishna's service. Otherwise, we will experience trouble. We will experience problems by becoming the servant of our senses. Our senses will not make us happy. We are controlled by our senses. We do not want to be controlled by others. We want to be free. There is no enemy except our mind, who tells us, enjoy this, take this, get this, and so on. This is our only enemy. We can conquer over this enemy, but this simple process of Krishna consciousness, starting and beginning with chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very carefully, we can conquer over this enemy by bringing him always back to Krishna. Gradually not allowing to enjoy this, go there with the mind. No, bring back to Krishna. Thinking of Krishna, smelling what is offered to Krishna, honoring, eating what is offered to Krishna, hearing about Krishna, listening about Krishna. Savai mana Krishna padaravindaryor vachangsi vaikunta gunanu varnane. Karo hare armandira marchino tishu shrutim chakarucha satkhadodaye mukunda lingalaya darshano trisho tat prityagatras pershega sangamam granam chatat parasarojase shrimatulasya rasanam tat arpite padau hare ksheta padana sarpane shiro rishikesha padana vandane kamam chadasena tu kama kamaya yathotamashloka chanashraya ratihi. How can I get attraction for Krishna? Theoretically, I've understood there is only one way how to become happy. Becoming Krishna consciousness. Becoming Krishna conscious. But practically, I am so attracted to all these material things in life. I cannot hide it anymore. How can I become more attracted to Krishna? Did you ever ask yourself this question? At least once, a little bit. Did you ever ask yourself, how can I become more attracted to Krishna? I must admit, I'm not so much attracted to Krishna and to the chanting. I'm practicing, trying, but the real taste I'm looking for, and I need this taste to get attraction for Krishna. How can I get it? Did you ever ask yourself this question? Yes? Or is it me only? No. You too. This is the answer. This shlokas is the answer. By Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindayor. By thinking of Krishna's lotus feet. Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindayor. Vachangsi Vaikunta Gunanu Varnane. And hearing about what he is doing in Vaikunta. What is Krishna doing right now in the spiritual world? You may think it's a stupid question. It's not a stupid question. There were people in the past who also asked this question. And then came a great sage called Narada Muni. And he said, he's just pulling an elephant through the hole of a needle. And the person said, oh, wonderful. My Krishna is pulling an elephant through the hole of a needle. And then the great sage asked him, do you really believe it? He said, of course, my Lord is so wonderful. Why he shall not do it? Ah, faith. Krishna can do everything. No doubt about the greatness of Krishna. And Mukunda Lingalaya Darshana Trisha Tat Prityagatra Sparshenga Sangamam. Mukunda Lingalaya Darshana Trisha. Seeing with the eyes the beautiful form of Mukunda. In other words, the deity in the temple. Here Narasimhadev is residing on his throne, very kingly. And every day we have this opportunity to start at his lotus feet, looking with big eyes how he's standing there, effulgent, shining from like the Brahmajyoti, and millions of suns are like on the altar when the altar is opening. And so is Narasimhadev standing there, very kingly, and completely on the spiritual platform, no material contamination. There he is standing, tens of years, 40 years already now he is here, undergoing some troubles and problematics here, but he is residing here. He decided to come here, he decided to stay here, and when he wants to stay here, he will stay here for the next 10,000 years, if he desires so. What a wonderful opportunity here to cleanse your eyes every day, to watch very attentively, look at Narasimhadev starting at the lotus feet, out of respect, starting at the lowest part of the feet and going up to the waist and going up to the breast and going up to the neck and going up to the lotus feet, to the lotus eyes of the Lord. And so on all the senses we can engage in this way. Mukunda Lingala Dashanatra Tat Prityagatra Sparshenga Sangamam means touching. What we are touching when we are standing here and we are making kirtan and we are eager to make kirtan and we want to dance and jump as long as we can so that we will sweat like anything, we cannot avoid to touch the devotees and to jump around with the devotees, hand in hand. So Tat Prityagatra Sparshenga Sangamam. The touching sense is engaged in touching the devotees. And Mukunda Lingala Rasanam. Rasanam is the tongue, the taste. It tastes the prasadam which is offered to Krishna. And Karanam, the smell. We are smelling the flowers which are offered to Krishna's lotus feet. And Pado Hare Kshetra Padanusarpane, with our feet we walk on pilgrimage from temple to temple to have darshan of the Lord. Oh, here is Kshirachora Gopinath. Please listen to me what he did many, many years ago. Oh, here is Gopal. And here is Mahavishnu. So many wonderful forms of the Lord, especially in India. You're from India. Bharatavarsha, the holy land where Krishna appeared and still is residing there in his Archa Vikraha in the temple. So many temples you can visit and have darshan of the Lord and make pilgrimage there. Padohare Kshetana Padasarvana Shiro Hirishikesha Padanu Vandane. And with our head, Shiro Hirishikesha Padanu Vandane, we bow down before Hrishikesh, before Krishna, offer humble obeisances like Brahma did with his 4 hands. He lowered his 4 heads unto the lotus feet of Krishna, the wonderful cowherd boy of Vrindavan, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his pastimes as Krishna in Vrindavan, the most confidential, most sweet, and highest of all. And this is revealed to us in this movement, but before we can come there, we have to understand how great is Krishna, how great he is. The whole universe is within him, and he's aware of everything. He is the controller of everything, can change everything within 1 second. Everything is his energy. Today in the morning we had the question about Krishna's energies. Everything is Krishna's energy, and he can manage all his energies according to his desire. He can do anything, whatever he likes, which means within 1 second he can change material energy into spiritual energy, if he desires so. Just 1 second. Like the electrician, he can use electricity for warm and for heat. You can make the heater on, or you can make the freezer on, you can make cool and warm. So similarly, Krishna can do with his energy, material and spiritual. For him, no difference. For Krishna, there is no material and spiritual. Krishna is completely transcendental. There is no contamination for him. And if he appears in this material world, he is doing so out of his causeless mercy to show us, to show you, paritranaya sadhunam. From time to time I appear to rescue you, to save you from your suffering. And what is this suffering? The suffering is this separation from Krishna. So we are actually longing very much for Krishna. Every day we wake up and we should hope for Krishna's mercy again today. And as Sankirtan devotee, he is eager for the adventure which is waiting for him today, because he knows exactly when he will go out today and distribute Krishna's glories and distribute books, there will be a great adventure waiting for him. Krishna will see that it will be very adventurous. And we can in this way experience Krishna's pastimes in our life. In this lifetime, we can come to the platform of experience Krishna's wonderful and most sweet pastimes as exhibited in Goloka Vrindavan. Would you like that? Yes! Wonderful. Me too. Please give me your blessings so that I can continue serving in this wonderful movement, because everyone who is serving in this movement is just straightforward on this path, on this way. Whether you are a cook, whether you are on the altar, whether you help building a temple, whether you help the devotees preaching somehow, whether you distribute flyers, whether you are cleaning in this temple here, this movement, this ISKCON movement, is a most wonderful movement you can imagine in this age. And if there is a movement which can spread the glories of Krishna, which are given us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so mercifully all over the world, then it is this ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, expertly led by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And when we read his books, we can become convinced about this. And it is revealed very soon. You don't have to wait tens of years, centuries or lifetimes. If you take such a book and if you start reading carefully, after some time, you will also be purified. And you will get convinced about the message which is in these books. And the message of these books is that we can change the whole world, actually. This Krishna consciousness movement is meant for turning this materialistic world into the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. And it is possible. Who does it depend on? Depends on us. Do I take it up seriously? Do I also want to be part of this movement of mercy and ecstasy? And am I serious? Am I serious? And do I take serious what is given to me as instruction and order? You should do this. Chant Hare Krishna. Chant 16 rounds Hare Krishna. Follow the 4 regular principles. Give everything to Krishna. Offer your food to Krishna. Read about Krishna. Have association with devotees of Krishna. Devote yourself. Dedicate yourself to Krishna as much as you can. Surrender, in other words, to Krishna. That will make you happy. Don't wait for anything else. Don't speculate. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to love myself. We have to connect with a higher consciousness. We have to develop this. We only have one business: surrendering it to Krishna. Be Krishna's servant. Serve Krishna. That will make you happy. We all will become very happy if we serve Krishna, because Krishna will reciprocate and he will show you, I like it. And our real pleasure will be Krishna's pleasure. And this is the consciousness we really want to go for. To only have this consciousness that make Krishna be happy.
May Krishna like it, what I did for him. May Krishna please enjoy it, what I have done for him and prepared for him. And Krishna's pleasure is our biggest pleasure, because he is Govinda. He's the one who is giving pleasure to go to the cows and to the senses. So Krishna is most wonderful. We are all longing for Krishna. So many lifetimes we have failed in this regard, because we decided to turn towards sense gratification. Now let this one lifetime just give for Krishna. Just one lifetime. So many lifetimes you have decided to go for sense gratification. And Krishna allowed it. But now he is giving you the opportunity. Come to me. Turn towards me, like two birds are sitting on a tree. The one bird is eating the fruits, and the other bird is watching him. And the second bird who is watching just is waiting. When will he look at me and stop eating these fruits? These birds, they are here. Here and here and here and here. You all have these two birds in your heart. The one bird who is eating the fruits, this is you, enjoying your good karma. And the other bird, this is Krishna, watching you and waiting, when will you look to me? When will you look to me? How can you look to Krishna? What is the process to look to Krishna? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, let's stop here. Is there anything you would like to ask? Some inspiring question, please? Don't be shy. Now is the time. And now the question. What is the question? No question. Really? Yeah. What do you speak? Hindi?
No. He speaks English, but he has a little hearing problem.
Hearing problem I have.
Oh, I see.
That's why he's asking.
Where are you from?
I'm from Chennai.
Chennai.
Tamil Nadu, India.
Okay. Great. Wonderful that you are here.
Actually, we are living in Dubai.
Oh,
For the past 22 years, I'm there in Dubai.
you are visiting in Dubai the devotees?
Dubai.
No, actually my daughter, she's studying in Denmark.
Oh,
So we came to visit her, so we thought we will see Narasimha also. So we came just as a 3 days trip. So we are staying in here for 2 days
okay.
to have darshan of the Lord.
Wonderful. For the first time?
Yes, this is the first time.
Oh.
First time to Europe. as such.
Did you experience Mangalarati?
No, we came just now.
You came just now.
An hour ago we came.
Oh.
Tomorrow morning we will.
Please come to the Mangalarati.
Sure, definitely.
4:30.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
sure.
This is like Narasimha Dev's. You see, it's very darkish here. It's like Narasimha's cave.
Yeah, that's correct.
And the Lord in the morning, when it's still dark, and the altar will open and the candles are shining and the Lord is giving darshan. It's very beautiful. Gives a very deep impression in your consciousness. And we have to collect impressions in our spiritual life, no? To see Krishna there in this form, to smell this. So we will have to collect a lot of this so that we will see, the best thing I ever tasted was this prasadam in this temple. The best thing, the most amazing thing I ever saw was Mangalarati in Simhachalam in Narasimha Dev. We gave darshan. And in this way, we only think of Krishna. Our senses will only be engaged in Krishna. At the time of death, we also think like this. You did it. You fulfilled the mission of your life by thinking of Krishna at the time of death. That's therefore, yes, please, if you please wish, you come. Jai. Wonderful. Then in this way, Shri Prahlad Lakshmana Singh Bhagavan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari, Srila Prabhupada ki. anyone who wants to chant a little bit Hare Krishna with me together is invited to stay a little bit and sing.